Mr. Jean, I can tell you in Africa we have 52% of our population are women. So when you call us to come and talk about African issue, we start with that first. On this high table, we should have 5 women and 4 men.
Votre contribution, je donne maintenant la parole à Madame Fatima Maada Dio, première dame de Sierra Leone.
Good morning. So when you have the governor of Lagos State speak before you, and then you have a traditional leader that their job are permanent, unfortunately you find yourself now thinking, what is it that I can say which they haven't said already? But let me start with Mr. Chairman and the co-founder of Grand Montana, Mr. Jean-Paul Cartier. I'm so humbled to be here. And let me also take this opportunity to recognize the president of Comoros and my mommy, who is the first lady, who is here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on existing protocols. Mr. Chair, distinguished audience, I want to skew my contribution and presentation on women and girls issues in today's world. And let me start first with the high table. Let's start with that one. Mr. Jean, I can tell you in Africa we have 52% of our population are women. So when you call us to come and talk about African issue, we start with that first. On this high table, we should have 5 women and 4 men. Women and girls do not see it as a level playing field anymore. And as every day, we are fighting to occupy a space that already belongs to us. Women had to prove not only that we are good at everything, we multitask. If I am to give these men 3 glasses of water now and tell them to drink it within 1 minute, none of them will be able to do so. But if you tell a woman to drink 3 glasses of water in 1 minute, they will find a way to drink the one, they will find a way to spill the one, and they'll find a way to throw the one behind and make sure they do all of that in 1 minute. So I listened to my governor from Lagos when he presented Lagos for all of us. And that is the true representation of Lagos. By extension, the true representation of Africa. You know, every time they want to describe us, they will tell us we are the dark city. But then if we are the dark city or the dark world or the third world or the developed country, why are you still in our continent? Why don't you wait for us to call you? Why would I want to go to a place that is dark, undeveloped, and backward and nothing? These are questions that we need to ask. Because if you're going to see us as that, that means you're not ready for us to be your partner. And as Africans, we have had enough. But not just African men. It is the women I'm speaking for today. We have had enough because everything that caused Africa to go backward affects more women. The women are struggling. We multitask with our children. We multitask because our husbands are also our children. We multitask to make sure we take care of every little things because we see all the small details. We are under pressure constantly. When you talk about global warming, who suffers the most? Women. When you have war, for example, if we're talking about the war in Gaza today, now tell me how many women have suffered in that place? How many women and children? Because when you affect the child, you automatically affect the mother. Anywhere you have war, they have a new method weapon of mass destruction. Our method of mass destruction at the moment in any part of the world where there is war is rape on women. So they use rape to demean you. They use rape to make you look small. They use rape to take away your dignity for a war that you did not create, for a war that has nothing to do with you, for a war that you have no business in being part of it. And at the end of the day, they come back to you and say you have to pick the pieces. So if we're the one who pick the pieces all the time, why are you not having us on the table when you make that decision? Why? We have all the minerals in Africa, as our traditional leader was talking. We have every mineral in Africa. And when I listen to my brother from Libya, I was in Libya in 2011. I was a young lady at that time, and 1 month after I left Libya, then the catastrophe happens. Before now, Libya was one of the best cities in the world, the most beautiful city. When you come to infrastructure, when you come to development, but nobody talks about that. And today we have a country that is ruined, destroyed, and completely in tatters. How many times are we going to allow people to come into our continent and make decisions, and if we don't agree, they destroy us? And when they finish destroying us, they leave us to rebuild. And when you're going to rebuild, what do? You go as a beggar. You go there to beg. And when you're a beggar, nobody will expect you. We have more than enough to be on the table now. We sit on the table with you because we know that is our place, because we are sure whatever thing you want to make or whatever decision you want to make on our behalf, we are also capable of understanding whether that decision works for us in Africa. If we don't take a cue from the governor of Lagos to say, Africa, we have to do our own thing. It is high time we now say enough is enough. It is the right time, because this is the time they are running so hard to come not only to invade us, but to take what is left of us, and then by the time we realize, it will be too late. This is the time that we have to build our own Berlin Wall and say, no, you are not coming in. Or if you want to come in, you will now come in as a partner, not as somebody who just wants to take away from us. People say, Fatima, you are very controversial. I said I am controversial because somebody has to speak up. I am controversial because what is happening in my continent does not fit me as a person. We cannot have all the minerals in Africa and we are still backward. It is our making. Our leaders are bad. Our leaders are selfish. And that any leader who now challenges them, they come after you. They find a way to destabilize you. They find a way to make your country unstable. And then you don't have Africans coming together and say, this is our brother, let us stand with them. Because I won't talk about sister. We only have one female president in Africa anyway. So please, my message here this morning is to say, come together, Africa. We have put up with so much from everyone. Do not allow our children to also be victimized again. As a woman, I understand what victimization is. At a very tender age of 12 years, I was married off to some pedophile. And today, I stand here as the First Lady of Sierra Leone because I had to fight for my independence, fight for my own freedom, fight for my own success. And today, I can stand anywhere and say, you will not do what you did to me, you will not do to my own child. And that is because our families are so greedy and they are ready to market you as long as they will have a piece of bread on their table. We cannot allow this to continue in Africa. Women are not commodities. Women are human. And that when you empower a woman and you give them the space and opportunity, they will help you build your nation and make your nation paradise. If you keep all your women in the kitchen, the only thing you will have is smoke. So please take this from me. Africa, let us come together and let us be united. Thank you for very much.
Je vous remercie, Madame. La plupart des points que vous avez abordés le seront dans la séance consacrée à l'African Women's Forum.